Welcome to another edition of Flex Rental Solutions how-to video. Today we're going to be going over hourly tiered labor pricing models. Previously we learned how to set up simple little rates like each or day rate, things like that. But there are certain times when you need to slice up time. To do this, you would go to System Settings, Pricing Models, and we're going to start off with the tiered that I have created called hourly tiered. To do this, we have set that this pricing model relates to labor. The pricing calculation is tiered. We have a price override enable setting set to yes. We have calculated time set to yes, and time slicing set to yes. We created 3 separate tiers, and we will review each one of these. For this one, we can call it straight time, and we can say this applies to any time of the calendar, whether it's a normal Monday through Friday, Saturday through Sunday, and holidays. This applies. The matching criteria is what matches the time on that is put in through the call time widget if this specific rule applies to that. So anything with 0 hours up to 8 hours will apply to this pricing rule. So it will start to calculate it. We're basing this one off of an hourly rate. We're going to multiply it simply by itself or times 1, and the max time rate equals 8. So anything up to 8 hours is going to be 1 times an hourly rate, and we'll hit save. Let's review the standard tier number 2. We're going to call this overtime. Again, we're going to apply this to normal, weekend, and holidays. This rule will not apply until 8.01 hours, basically. Anything greater than 8 hours and equal to or less than 12 hours. So there's a 4-hour time window that this rule will apply. If it applies to it, we're going to take the hourly rate and times it by 1.5. We're going to offset the overall hours by 8 hours, and the max time is up to 12. So what we mean by that is if you have a call time that is 9 hours, it will match the criteria because it's in between 8 and 12 hours. It's going to take 9 and subtract 8 from it, meaning 1 hour. And so what that means is it will apply 1 hour of 9 hours towards this overtime rate. Finally, we're going to create a third tier, and we're going to call this double time. We're going to apply it to all 3 of our date types. What we're going to say for this item is it starts greater than 12 hours and ends at, we can say 24 hours, etc., whatever we want it to be. If it matches this criteria, we're going to charge the hourly rate times 2, subtract 12. So as an example, if it's 13 hours, it will match the criteria and apply the business rule. It will subtract 12 from 13 to give you 1 hour of double time, as an example. So we have a calculator built into here. And what we can do by this is take our labor and take a specific resource and drag it and drop it into this drop resource here area. That will open up this calculator. And so we can test to see how this rule applies and if we got our rules figured out correctly. So for now, we're going to calculate this in US dollars. And we're going to start the call time at 8 a.m. and we're going to go to 2 p.m. for now on the same day. And for the use of this specific scenario, our quantity count, we're going to calculate it towards one of these labor resources. Time quantity will just be calculated based right here. So when we hit recalc, it figured out that this was 6 times the one that came from this count quantity. The base rate or the hourly rate for our downrigger was $50. So using the math, 1 times 6 hours times $50 an hour equals $300 for a 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. call time. If we change this to 5 p.m., as of now, it is an 8-hour regular time, 1 hour of overtime, which is 1.5 times our hourly rate. And if we send this up to 10:30, 8 hours of regular time, 4 hours of overtime, 2.5 hours of double time. And if we change this to say from 2 p.m. to the next day at 1 a.m., again, we can calculate all these functionality. We will get into other functionalities of minimum rates and weekend rates and things like that. But let's just take this simple rule that we've created and look at how this functions in the quote. So I've got this quote called test labor, and I'm going to drag in my downrigger. The start date we have in here at 4:30 a.m. to the return date at 9:30 a.m. And if we change our rate to hourly tiered, it's going to calculate 5 hours at $50 an hour. We have this configured to line mute this tier, and it automatically total mutes it because it's just showing this information for a transient value to show you how much all of it will appear. And if we were to change this call time to 3:30 and hit tab, it's going to auto calculate 11 hours, 8 it straight, 3 it overtime. So as of right now, the only thing that will be printed is the downrigger at 11 hours for $6.25 because everything else is line muted. And these two tiers are total muted because we don't want to count these items twice. And if we change this one more time to 7:30 and hit tab, that will recalculate this into straight, overtime, and double time for a total 15 hours at $1,000. If you have any questions, please contact support@flexrentalsolutions.com. Thank you.